Broward, man. Stop fucking playing with him, man. Come on.
Good talks, man. Coming soon. You already know what's going on.
Right now.
All right, so, I'm Truth.10k, local rapper, aspiring rapper, This is only the beginning, this is a stepping stone to something great, something immaculate. You know what I'm saying? Well, growing up in, Broward is interesting because, for somebody like me, it's I grew up in, the North Lauderdale, Sunrise area, so I've been able to see, people who are really in the streets and all those different things, and people doing whatever they can to kind of get money, get by. But in going to school in a place like Coral Springs, I saw the other side of Broward as well, the more, I guess you could say financially stable side, and my friends varied because of that same reason. Throughout Sawgrass Springs Middle, because that's where I went to middle school, and also Coral Glades High School, I always had two sets of friends. I've always had the friends that were more so, in the streets, more so didn't listen to the teachers, whatever, but I also had the friends that was in AP classes, you know what I'm saying, honor class. I always was able to go, you know what I'm saying, into different crowds and make friends and become cool. But my main solid unit, over time they do become more like family because it's just sharing memories with them, becoming closer with them, getting more acquainted with them personally. Things of that nature help, relationships and bonds. And a lot of them, they're here for life because they're still here, at my side to this day. I grew up listening to a lot of albums. One specifically is The Blueprint by Jay-Z. That's probably one of the albums that got me interested in making music. My mom's from Brooklyn, so when I was growing up, I grew up around a lot of good music, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Hove, a lot of Nas, a lot of the classic dudes, that's why I rap the way I rap, but The Blueprint by Hove, the Black Album, by anything Jay-Z, honestly. Then we got Drake, we got stuff like Take Care, you know what I mean? Nothing Was the Same, Thank Me Later. That was the first Drake album. That's the first album he dropped, and I remember I went and got that album, the physical copy. I went to FYE, you know what I'm saying, in '09 and got the physical copy and was blasting that in the whip, you know what I'm saying? So, grew up on a lot of good music. R&B as well. I don't really, being as I rap, I don't really, I'm trying to incorporate more R&B elements into my music because I've grew up around that type of music as well. But a lot of good hip hop. Well, a team is probably the most important part of this whole thing because you can be talented, you could have a crazy work ethic, but at the end of the day, if you're just one person, there's going to be aspects of things that you can't really handle as well as if you had a team. Let's say you had a photographer in your group, you had a rapper in your group, you had a producer in your group, engineer in your group. Everybody plays a role and they help each other, power to the lead, if you will. It's the same thing with just support too. When you know you have support, not only does it help you in a sense of getting stuff done, but it's motivating, it's inspiring, it's encouraging. Knowing that you have people that believe in you is probably worth more than gold. You know what I mean? Not to sound corny or anything, but it's literally, support is very important. And again, having that team, that pretty much becomes your family, that's gonna help you through thick and thin no matter what. You know what I mean? It's a real blessing because not everybody is fortunate enough to have. Working with Derek, that came about because, basically, Derek wanted to work with me after he saw my Quiet Storm freestyle in 2017. That was 3 years ago. We have another friend named Nathan, shout out my dog Tank, you know what I'm saying, you know what it is, that basically brought it to Derek's attention that I was doing music. Derek's a producer, so from there, he hit me up and we've been working ever since. I could say the best part about that is doing music with Derek not only is helping us on a sense of accomplishing our goals and dreams, but also personally we've become very close.
I hope you take it personally. Silence isn't here, it's just a noise within emergencies. Never met the families, but the loss is fucking hurting me. R.I.P. to those who came and went, I pray for perfect peace. Ball for 24 hours, work like I'm Kobe Bean. Play until the court is ours, never been in minor league. Someone said this world is ours, got it from a movie scene. We all gotta roll like actors, minus all the movie screens. When you think of me, don't think about problems. I know we'll overcome cause everybody's got them. That's why you judge a person from the shit inside them. Cause you don't know when they gon' go when God decides to call them. It's funny how the season never changed from autumn. I feel we
over time, because that's only natural when you work with somebody for so long and so constant. Same thing with Patrick. Patrick was, you know what I mean, known Patrick since middle school, and up to 12th grade, Patrick had a class with me, you know what I mean? So it's cool to work with the people you've already been associated with, so you don't really have to worry about the anxiety of getting to know somebody new, worry if somebody has your best interest. I already knew from rip that these people were going to be people in my corner, you know, with my best interests, and, you know, I the same for them. And, you know, it has really, like, helped me a lot. And also, the engineer, Slim, you know what I mean? Special shout out to Slim, because without Slim, my sound wouldn't be what it is, you know what I mean? He's somebody who takes the songs and he adds his stuff to it, and it comes out crazy. That's why they call him the scientist, you know what I mean? So we definitely, you know, developed a friendship and a bond that's becoming personal as well. And it's not just when I go to the studio, I kick it with Slim. We talk about anything, talk about life, talk. Basically with Skliz, you know, we also call him Zoe, but, you know, his real name is Nathan, you know what I mean? I met him in, you know, I want to say 7th grade, either 7th grade or 8th grade, I forget the years, but he was new. He came from Brooklyn, and one thing about, you know, Skliz that stood out is the fact that he was kind, you know what I mean? He was very, very kind. Like, no matter who you were, you know what I'm saying, you could have been the nerdiest person, you know what I'm saying? You could have been, he was gonna be cool with you, see you, dap you up, show love. And we had a musical interest, like we both were into classic music, you know what I mean? So when I was going around in my middle school phase listening to all the old school stuff, he understood all those artists, he knew them because he's also from, you know, he's from New York. So he was able to understand, and he's always been, you know, like again, that kind person. You know, and throughout high school, it was kind of like the same thing. Only difference is this is when I started rapping, you know what I mean, and putting it out, and, you know, putting freestyles. This is before I dropped any songs. I was just putting a cappella freestyles on Instagram, and he was one of the main people and one of the first people to support, show love. For those that didn't know, before he got locked up, you know what I mean?
Free Skliz, you know what I mean?
Before he got locked up, he had a plan to buy a studio. Like, he wanted to rent out, you know, a studio, and it was gonna be ours, you know what I mean? And he had a whole idea that, like, people like me, you know, Derek, and a few other artists that he knew personally, would just come through to record for free. And we were gonna have this whole thing where we get music done, and then, you know, he would handle the business side, you know, and like we would all put our brains together to accomplish this goal. It's just unfortunate, you know, that he's locked up right now, but you know, he'll be home soon, you know, and you know, and making that song about him, you know what I mean? I just felt like I had to, only because of how things went, and also like my friendship with him. I wanted to show people, like, in a sense, at the time, I wanted to show people which side I was on. You know what I mean? At the time. So I had to really show people, like, look, we're representing for Zoe. You know, he's locked up right now, but I wanted people on the outside to still, like, know who he was. You know what I mean? Still put some life to his name, other than somebody who got locked up. Because, you know, when you get locked up, people start thinking of you differently, start looking at you like you're a monster. And I wanted everybody to know with that song that he's not, you know what I mean? He's really a good person. It's just sometimes things happen, and, you know, it's crazy because when we made the song, we got a lot of backlash for the song from some other people I won't mention, but you know what I mean? And you know, it was a lot of things that went on that summer, you know what I mean? And, you know, even in visiting him and stuff in jail, like just seeing him in that predicament is just, you know, it's tough to see. You don't ever want to see one of your friends or, you know, loved ones or anybody that you're close with, you know, behind a glass, you know what I mean? But, you know, he'll be home soon. That's a good question. I don't feel like they did, but I could see how someone would think that, only because like I'm one of those people who you know, again, kind-hearted. You know, this world has this thing where the good-hearted people always get kind of dragged through the mud because it's easy to drag them through the mud because they're so kind-hearted, you know? They always want to see the good in people and stuff like that. But in my case, I don't think people tried to take advantage. I think people respected it. You know what I mean? I think they respected who I was and knew that I was never lying. I was never afraid to be myself. Even if I could come off as like nerdy or, you know, whatever, I don't really care. You know what I mean? The way I look at life, I feel like everybody is who they are because God made them that way. You know what I mean? So you should be proud and you should wear who you are, you know, like a jersey. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever be apologetic for being you. So I feel like everybody respected me for that. And I've actually been told that I've inspired like some people to chase what they love no matter what people may think or view them as. So I'm proud, you know what I mean? Not to sound cocky, but you know, just how good I am at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really do honestly feel like I'm really, really good at this. And I believe in this to like the end, you know, that I know this, you know, we're gonna accomplish something great. I just need the time to put the work in, get the videos done, get the, you know, live performances done, network a little bit more. And I feel like that rocket ship is gonna take off, you know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, probably the main thing, you know, just knowing that this is my passion, knowing that I want to do this for eternity, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably what keeps me going. And also the support that I get from everybody, you know what I mean? I always try to make it known on Instagram that I appreciate all the love, you know what I mean? I really do, because without it, you know, I probably wouldn't be dropping as much music. I probably wouldn't be sitting here doing this interview. But to know that, you know, people care to the extent that they want to hear what I have to say, stuff like that, that keeps me motivated. That keeps me going. Like, I want to go to the studio right now, you know what I'm saying, record like 10 songs just because it's like, I know people believe, and, you know, that keeps me going. Working on What They Need was a lit process because at the time, you know what I mean, when I started it, my mom was in the hospital. You know, my grandma was in the hospital. You know, things were, you know, going crazy. I was working at the mall at a job I didn't really want to work at. You know, they had let me go. Like, all this like stuff was going, you know what I mean? So like What They Need started because of just a lot of stress. You know what I mean? I was in a very stressful like situation with just like life. So I was able to write about my stress and write about my pain and put those freestyles together, put those songs together. Like, I wrote them, but they're like to beats that have already been rapped on. So, you know, it was a blessing to be able to share my story and people actually gravitate to it. That's the most love I've ever gotten. People literally DM me, you know, in a sense of support, like paragraphs from like all different types of people. Even people I've never met before, never spoke to. They found me, they let me know what they thought about the tape. And it seemed to be very impactful, you know what I mean, in people's lives and, you know, just every day. And that's actually the tape that I look at now and be like, look, like, next stuff I gotta make has to be even, you know what I'm saying, better than this. Like, because it was just so, you know, it was a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions put into that, you know, body of work. Documenting it was cool. Like, for those that don't know, on Instagram, I like to show people when I'm writing. So like I'll take pictures of the notebook, take pictures of me writing, etc., and let people know I'm working. When I get to the studio, I'll have my uncle record me in the studio so we can have some snippets to post, you know, different things like that. So the whole journey, like seeing it build up and people, you know, being on that journey with me, it meant like a lot to me to know that they cared, you know what I mean, so much. And again, there's more music on the way. And, you know, hopefully we could get even more love this time. So 2020, I want to like focus more so on getting on all platforms. For one, I want to start streaming, and then also I want to start doing more things. Like I want to get some music videos done, like a lot more. I want to be, I want the promo to be up there. You know what I mean? And I don't want to sleep until I know that I'm networking with people, meeting new people, you know, gaining more of a following. That's basically what I want to focus on. I think in the past, like 2019, 2018, I was working on my skills. You know what I mean? Like, let me hone my skills. Now I'm comfortable enough. I found who I want to be as an artist. And now it's just to do the work to get noticed, really. And that's basically what I'm going to be focusing on. Excuses, I'm not going to make any more excuses. That's like one of the biggest changes like that I'm making. This year, there's no excuses. If one person could do it, you could do it. You know what I mean? We all have potential, and we all could, you know, achieve our goals no matter what anybody says. And that's basically what was going to be going on in 2020. You know, no matter what, we're going to make this goal happen, make this a reality. You know, for the last time, I'm very thankful for all of the support, all of the love I get. I'm always going to be thankful for it. And I appreciate it for you coming out to like interview me, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to go support Crib Talks, you know what I mean? Till it's bigger than Lyrical Lemonade. Like we try to really make a movement with this. So again, I appreciate the support and I love all y'all.